Hi, I am Graciela Castellanos. I am a published author of children's books, and I am also the founder of Languages for Kids, a leading provider of resources in English and Spanish for kids, parents, and teachers. I am very happy to be here at the Language Learning Summit, and I would like to talk to you today about early language learning. Think about it. What is the purpose of starting children learning a foreign language early in life? And then, what approach should we take when dealing with very young children? Early language learning, and especially the teaching of languages, has acquired a significant importance all over the world. Now, why is that the case? In the last decade, there has been an enormous increase in discussion about early language learning. In the academic area, there has been a revolution in neuroscience. Nowadays, scientists are able to take a look at the brain while babies are acting. There are new tools and techniques being used to understand how the brain does its tricks, how learning happens, and their findings are being used to gather information about how little ones learn or acquire a second or third language. On the other hand, parents are responding to the new findings. They want the best for their children, and they know that one or more languages besides their mother tongue will provide them access to better opportunities around the world. I am sure that many of you have a family member or a friend who is now more interested in their children learning a second language. In our society, speaking a foreign language has become a need. We live in a globalized world. People move from one country to another in search for better jobs, education, etc. And communications have spread all over with the new technologies. Last but not least, we see that businesses are creating more and more products for the early ages based on the advances in technology and the latest research about early language learning. Now, when dealing with very young children, anyone that is interested in teaching them needs to have a basic knowledge of child development and have an understanding of how they learn. When we talk about very young learners, we consider those children from infancy and through 7 years of age. That is, infants, toddlers, preschoolers, kindergarteners, and first graders. We know that no two children are alike. Each child is developmentally unique and has a unique personality with strengths, abilities, needs, and interests. Children are born citizens of the world with regard to language. During the first 6 months of life, babies babble using 70 sounds that make up all the languages in the world. Research has proven that during this early period, 2 languages can be learned simultaneously as long as the child regularly interacts with speakers of both languages. They learn to talk using only the sounds and words they pick up from their environment, most importantly from their parents and caregivers. Consequently, A baby's brain will then discard the ability to speak in languages he or she does not hear. There is a window of opportunity for easily acquiring additional languages from the moment a child is born. No one actually teaches children to talk. Rather, parents and others enable their learning by speaking while they interact with them. Therefore, interaction is a critical part of this process. Very young learners acquire a second language through hearing and experiencing lots of the target language, very much in the same way they acquire their mother tongue. They learn through play. They learn words and phrases without noticing it, in a fun and natural way. We know children learn in a variety of ways, but we all recognize that play is an important vehicle in the process. When exposing children to a new language, use the language at all times, paired with games. To be effective, you need to speak slowly, clearly, and use easily understandable and comprehensible cognates, at least to the best of your ability. It is not necessary to translate. Invite children to play grocery store, make a snack, or pretend to be an astronaut. Let them learn by doing. Use props, pictures, and sounds to reinforce the new language in a playful way. Props and manipulatives that can be touched, squeezed, and passed around are appealing to small children and are of great help when learning a new language. Use music and rhythm. Music is one way to use the whole brain. The songs, the nursery rhymes, and finger plays they learn in their childhood will always be remembered. Children love songs, and songs benefit language learning in many ways. They help children learn words in meaningful contexts. They help children learn and practice their pronunciation skills, and they get children in contact with the culture of the target language. Use a variety of musical activities, songs, nursery rhymes, and finger plays to build up and reinforce vocabulary in a way that makes it easy for children to follow along. Even though young children may not understand everything that is said, they will be learning many words that will form the basis for the target language later on. Sing with children. This can be a fun and valuable experience. You do not need to sound like a professional singer. As long as you're enthusiastic, young children will enjoy it, and as they grow, they will want to sing along. Pair music with movement or visual aids to stimulate children's senses. Movement activities help children interact with the target language in many ways. Encourage children to dance and move to different rhythms. Movement activities such as dancing, bouncing, and jumping keep children engaged and help them broaden their understanding of the new language and its culture. Use repetition. Repetition plays a very important role in all languages. Keep in mind the importance of routines. Young children thrive in a well-ordered and predictable environment, where routines are established and dealt with consistently by all caregivers. Developmentally, they do not understand the concept of time passing, so they measure their lives by the order of events in it. Routines allow children to make sense of new language from familiar experiences and provide a space for language growth. They offer them a sense of consistency and security and a feeling of warmth and caring from the adults around them. Provide for transitions. Create short, repetitive transitions that can help capture and focus children's attention as you move from one activity to another. Allow enough time so children can make the transition gradually so as to avoid stressful situations. Use stories. Reading to children lays the foundation for a love of reading throughout their lives. Reading aloud to children is an effective and enjoyable way to expose them to the target language. Children of all ages love to be read to. When you read out loud, you are teaching about communication and helping young children build their listening and memory skills. You are giving them information about the world. You are introducing them to concepts and vocabulary in a fun way. And you are helping them develop skills in the target language by imitating sounds, recognizing images, and learning words. Reading invites children to look, point, touch, and answer questions, all of which promote social development and thinking. Let children use all their senses to absorb the language by expressing with new words how things feel after touching them, by tasting and eating foods and saying the food name in the new language, by smelling hidden objects in a bag and guessing what is inside. You can turn everything that is out there into a learning experience. Encourage children to use the new language while counting oranges, comparing leaves, classifying different animals, food, or anything that interests them. Let them pretend to be different characters. Encourage them to act out and role play to strengthen their imagination, expression, and creativity. And please do not forget to praise and encourage them. It is important to keep in mind that people respond far better to praise than criticism. Focus on the positive in order to draw more attention to it. Make sure you give plenty of praise and encouragement to children. It is part of the process of learning a language. Learning is easier if it is fun, and to make it fun, we need to provide children with a playful environment. The more fun the environment, the more a child will want to stay with it. We are all aware of the incredible learning potential of children during their first 5 years of life. So when it comes to ease of learning and proficiency in a foreign language, I agree that earlier is better.